Hello friends, Tiger Coward here. Welcome to day 9 of Tiger Barb's August Odyssey. Today was a long day and we don't know why. Our destination for the day was to visit our amazing friends Al and Karen in Kemptville, Ontario. This is only a 340 kilometer journey and we turned it into an 11-hour ride. Rain is the theme of this trip and once again we awoke to a downpour. But by 9:30 it had stopped and we were on our way. Since it was a short travel day, we decided to add some adventure and ride into the Green Mountains of Vermont and then stop at Sandbar State Park to have a swim in Lake Champlain. Traveling 30 minutes down the highway, we reached the US border at Stanstead, Quebec and waited for about 45 minutes to cross. The weather was warming up nicely at 20 degrees and although it was overcast, there was no rain. Crossing the border, I was immediately impressed by Vermont. The roads were great and the towns and villages were beautiful. Our planned ride was to parallel the border along the acclaimed Highway 105 to St. Albans, where we would travel south along the Lake Champlain shoreline.
Cursed to make the same mistakes. Ride across these plains that the past in flames and take what's left to the grave. So tonight I must escape this place, filled with anger and with hate this place. Yeah, tonight I must escape this place.
Heading west, almost to Jay Peak, we started to see some serious looking storm clouds over the mountains. We were just 3 miles from the village of Troy, and we headed there in the hopes of finding refuge in a restaurant during the storm. Unfortunately, the only restaurant in town was closed. On the positive side, it had a covered porch where we could shelter from the steadily increasing rain. We pulled on our rain gear in the relative comfort of the porch, and just as I was stepping out to the bike, the proprietor came to the door and changed the sign from closed to open. What a stroke of luck. Lunch was fantastic, with typical American portions. After absolutely stuffing ourselves full, we looked out the window and realized it was still raining. So Tiger Barb ordered dessert. She had the most spectacular looking blueberry pie. Waiting any longer wasn't an option. So we donned our waterproofs and headed out into the light drizzle and a chilly 15 degrees. It continued to rain until we were almost to St. Albans, Vermont.
Seeing ghosts everywhere I turn, all the lessons I never learned, my regrets coming back to life, dragged from the shadows of my mind. Like seeing ghosts, it's the good times that haunt me the most. Like seeing ghosts, it's the wrong turns that lead me down this misery road. Desolation when I close my eyes, a lifetime I can't deny. Skeletons rising up in graves, history I thought washed away. Like seeing ghosts, it's the good times that haunt me the most. Like seeing ghosts.
Finally, in St. Albans, we stopped and took off our rain suits and had a quick jaunt through town. It was simply amazing. So super cute that I wish I could have spent more time there. I will plan to be back there someday soon for sure. At the state park, We headed to the beach despite the chilly 19-degree temperature and strong winds. There was no one in the water swimming, but we were determined to have a swim ourselves. That was until we stepped into the cold water and chickened out. Instead, we chose a walk along the beach. Afterwards, as we were repacking the bike, we noticed that it was almost 4 o'clock, and we told Al and Karen that we would be at their place for dinner. It was still 250 kilometers and at least 3.5 hours riding, plus a border crossing away.
This misery road, like seeing ghosts, like seeing ghosts, like seeing ghosts.
Looking for the fastest route on my Garmin presented another challenge. For some reason, it did not recognize the border crossings at Cornwall or Mallorytown. It kept routing us back to Montreal. Frustratingly, we didn't have an American data plan on our cell phone, so we couldn't even Google it. I was worried that those bridges were closed for some reason. It is construction season after all. Nevertheless, we charted a route to Cornwall, and 2.5 hours later we were crossing back into Canada. The crossing took about 3 minutes, and then we jumped onto the 401 and then the 416 and raced to Kemptville. We arrived at Al and Karen's at 8:30, happy and exhausted. It was a long day, but a really nice day too. Tomorrow will be the last day of our odyssey, and we will make the 500-kilometer trip home. I love you all. Good night from Kemptville, Ontario. Go forth with an open mind, and most importantly an open heart. And remember, self-care is not selfish.
Trying to go against you, I can be a lone wolf with you. Gotta get up out of here and you ain't leaving me behind. I know you won't, 'cause we share common interests. You need